Mastering waste elimination. Waste elimination efforts are being hijacked by outdated regulations. Which regulations or industry standards currently in place have the greatest impact on our organization's waste elimination efforts, and what specific requirements or guidelines must we adhere to in order to ensure compliance and achieve operational excellence? In the pursuit of operational excellence through waste elimination, it is essential to understand the regulations and industry standards that have the greatest impact on our organization's efforts. Compliance with these regulations and standards is crucial to ensure adherence to best practices, minimize environmental footprint, and maximize efficiency. The following regulations and industry standards have a significant impact on our organization's waste elimination efforts. 1. ISO 14001-2015, Environmental Management Systems. This international standard provides a framework for organizations to manage their environmental responsibilities. The standard emphasizes the importance of waste reduction, recycling, and proper disposal of waste. Adherence to ISO 14001-2015 ensures that our organization implements an effective environmental management system, which is critical for waste elimination and reduction. Key requirements: identify and prioritize environmental impacts and aspects. Establish objectives and targets for waste reduction and minimization. Implement procedures for waste management, including reduction, reuse, and recycling. Monitor and measure waste reduction performance. 2. Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, regulations. OSHA regulations, specifically 29 CFR 1910, outline guidelines for maintaining a safe and healthy work environment. Waste elimination efforts must ensure that hazardous waste is handled, stored, and disposed of in accordance with OSHA regulations. Key requirements: identify and classify hazardous waste. Implement proper segregation, storage, and disposal procedures for hazardous waste. Provide training for employees handling hazardous waste. 3. Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, RCRA, enacted in 1976, regulates waste management and disposal practices. Our organization must adhere to RCRA guidelines for waste minimization, recycling, and proper disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous waste. Key requirements: identify and characterize waste streams. Implement waste reduction and recycling programs. Ensure proper disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous waste. 4. Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, guidelines. The EPA provides guidelines and regulations for waste management, including waste reduction, recycling, and disposal. Our organization must comply with EPA guidelines for waste elimination and reduction. Key requirements: implement sustainable materials management practices. Reduce and recycle waste generated during operations. Ensure proper disposal of waste in accordance with EPA guidelines. 5. Industry-specific regulations and standards. Depending on the specific industry or sector, additional regulations and standards may apply. For example, organizations in the healthcare industry must comply with the Joint Commission's standards for waste management and disposal. Key requirements: adhere to industry-specific regulations and standards for waste management and disposal. Implement procedures for segregation, storage, and disposal of hazardous and non-hazardous waste. Ensure compliance with industry-specific guidelines for waste reduction and minimization. To ensure compliance with these regulations and industry standards, our organization must: 1. Conduct regular waste audits to identify areas for improvement. 2. Develop and implement waste reduction and recycling programs. 3. Provide training for employees on waste management and disposal procedures. 4. Establish key performance indicators, KPIs, to measure waste reduction and recycling performance. 5. Continuously monitor and evaluate waste elimination efforts to ensure compliance and achieve operational excellence. By adhering to these regulations and industry standards, our organization can ensure compliance, minimize environmental footprint, and maximize efficiency, ultimately achieving operational excellence through waste elimination efforts.